Today is August 1st, 2015. And today I was in a room with people and I was the least capable of all these people. I know because there was a metric we were going by, and while compared to the general population, I might appear amazing in a certain skill set. In this room, I was literally the exact bottom of the bell curve. And it was a humbling experience, and it's the kind of thing that I like because it brings me up to a higher level. If I'm around, regular people and I have some knowledge on something or some skill, I might get the false impression that I really know something. But when I'm with giants and I get squashed, I can really know that I know less than I think. And that's actually a really good experience, because what it means is that I can look back and say, okay, the human race, right? The burden of progress, as much as I want to try, I have perspective that I'm a little fish and that I can try, but if I fail, there are people who are much more capable and motivated than me who can go forth in progress. Okay, so going back to gold, silver, precious metals, and the markets and trading. In my experience, well, first of all, I'm gonna give some background. So in the markets, I learned three things. There's fundamentals, technical analysis, and sentiment. It's kind of like the mind, body, and soul of the market. Each market has a mind, body, and soul. Fundamentals, technical analysis, and sentiment. And from my personal experience, when I try to trade on things like technical analysis, it doesn't work out nearly as well as when I try and make trades based upon sentiment. When it comes to fundamentals, it's kind of like a big hit or miss thing, right? It's like if the fundamentals are this bullseye, I'm missing the target or hitting the target. And part of the problem with fundamentals is a lot of people might think they understand fundamentals, because if you're hitting that target for a few years and then you're missing that target for a few years, the answer is you have to reevaluate your assumptions about the fundamentals, because obviously you were mistaken or things have changed. For like 10 years, gold and silver went up, and then for several years they went down. So, I mean, it might be easy to say, I got the big picture for 10 years. And then for several years it's going down, if you thought for those years it was going up. And now I'm shifting to sentiment. Because for me, when I'm doing short-term trades and I do a heavy sentiment trade, that works out a lot better for me than a lot of other things. In fact, it's worked out really well. Like every time I've done a trade on sentiment, most of the time it works really well. And I attribute that to the fact that my ear is to the ground. I have a special situation because I have a YouTube channel and I get thousands of views. I am privy to a conduit to the marketplace that don't have, because I get comments on my channel, I get thumbs up and thumbs down. I also get personal messages, and this sentiment is a wall coming at my face. And it's for me, trading on sentiment is it's more successful for me than the other stuff. Like, for example, when I have tried doing trades, when I have publicly talked about a trade, and this trade kind of disagreed with the sentiment I was seeing, the trade kind of fizzled. And if there was a trade and the sentiment I was watching mirrored the trade, it was a good trade. And yeah, that's what I've seen. Of course, this is an unscientific approach. I don't have hardcore numbers of every comment and every thumbs up and down and all the videos I watch. It's kind of an intuitive thing of watching over and over again. And that's where it gets difficult, because you cannot have selective memory in this. If you have selective memory in this kind of sentiment thing, you're not going to get it right. I also believe that you have to have empathy for this sentiment thing to work. Empathy, as in, if you and someone else don't agree, you still see them as a person. You still understand their pain, right? When I see people losing money in the markets and they're on YouTube, I kind of feel for them. Like, I don't want people to lose money, especially people who watch me. I don't want them to lose money, even if they're rude to me. I kind of still feel a little badly if they've taken a financial punch, right? It's empathy. I see people like on here, if someone they disagree with is losing money and they want to rub it in their face, that's like the opposite of empathy. And that kind of tells me not to trust that person and not to trust their advice. Because if you're in the marketplace and you're making money and the person trading against you is losing money, I mean, that is the biggest victory you can possibly have, right? I mean, you've won. But if you're making money and someone else is losing money and you got to try and kick them when they're down, I mean, that tells me the person doing the kicking either isn't making money or they've got some real serious issues. Because if you're making good trades and you're kicking people who are down, I mean, that seems like low character, doesn't it? I mean, you're taking their money and you're kicking them in the face. That's not cool. I mean, why is there an emotional need for some people to kick others when they're down? Now, I can understand if you got the pain of losing money and people are lashing out. They're losing money and they're in pain and they're lashing out. I can understand that because it hurts to lose money. Even phony paper wealth, it hurts because that phony paper wealth can be instantly transferred into other things. So, I mean, yeah, there's some people who are, I mean, there are some people who are almost spamming my comment section, really disagree with me heavily, and like I see that's a person, and there's something eating that person, because if a person is leaving constant angry messages, something's really eating them. I mean, something's really bothering them, and there's probably some pain involved. And I I'm sympathetic, or actually empathetic, right, to their different things, simply or different things. But I'm kind of empathetic towards their pain, and like I don't want people to feel pain, and it's the nature of the world, I guess. But I do want to say is that's if you're watching channels on YouTube and someone's trying to sell you a service and you watch them make videos where they're constantly kicking other people when they're down, I would recommend that you look at their track record deeply, because it probably is not that great. Because if their track record is golden, they would have no reason to kick someone when they're down. It's they're down because there's something that they're not succeeding and they're trying to take out their pain on someone else. And as I said, I really don't want people to feel pain. Even my enemies, right? If I have an enemy, I want my enemy to see the error of their ways. I don't want them to feel pain. For me, the biggest accomplishment is when a rival sees the error of their ways. If the rival feels more pain and doesn't learn, I don't consider that a victory. I consider that just more pain, right? So this is my current mindset right now. And this is shaped by the recent events. And sometimes what I'm saying is, it's not so, today it's easy to say this, but some days it's hard to say or even think what I'm saying today. So I want to sum up and say that I believe that with all the people on YouTube and the financial areas I'm in, I perceive that when it comes to sentiment, I'm one of the best at seeing it. I think I'm better than all these traders I talk to at sentiment, or at least as good. However, I am an insect. I'm sure if I was around giants, I would no longer feel like my sentiment was so great. So thanks for watching, and be well.